Well, hello, my snowflakes, my pickles, and my turtles, and my no matter what club members. Do you have your mug? Do you have your Mickey Mouse ears on? Well, here we go. Romper Stomper, Bomper Boo, have you got a mug that was sent to you? Isn't life fun? I'm in a wicked good mood. Well, I worked last night, so I had the opportunity to just watch and watch and watch and watch some videos, and it was great. And I got Mike's Carnomad's five myths of the keto diet in. That was good. I listened to Biohackers Lab Gary Irwin, my favorite interviewer, do Frank Tufano, who's a carnivore but won't say he's a carnivore, so that was good. A lot of different takes on it. And it was funny because I was emailing my turtle friend, and we were talking about carnivores, and she said, you know, there's a whole lot more to carnivore than meat and water. And then she gave credit to Mike from OMAD saying, you know, you can even complicate carnivore. And it's like, it's so true. It's so funny. I love it. So I'm a card-carrying carnivore. I'm a liar. I'm a card-carrying keto kind of gal. And I love my food program. And you know, it's always tweaking, always twinking. Drake's cakes. Anyway, so I'm always tweaking what I'm eating and getting the best bang for my buck. I love my keto foods, and I show them to you most every day by doing an OMAD. If you're hungry, don't watch. If you've already eaten, it's probably safe. If you don't like to be triggered, don't watch it. All of those little disclaimers. But, you know, it's usually a 1-minute little video that I do late afternoon that I send up after I've had my food for the day. And I'm just always happy with what I eat, and I don't eat what I don't want to eat. And I was talking to another pickle, Susan M., who loves her Topo Chico, and she was saying, I believe it was her, and she was saying, I don't eat what I don't want to eat anymore. And isn't that the truth? Don't we just love it that way? So I find that, like, I have beef 5 days a week. I have a lot of pork frozen that I plan to eat, but I haven't gotten round to it. And maybe when Greg is back from his Martha's Vineyard work, that will happen. But I don't know. I had my boneless short ribs last night. Tonight I'm having that burger soup, and the next 2 nights I've got a chuck roast, and then comes the omelet, then comes the pizza, then comes the big green egg with usually a Delmonico and some veggies. And I'm totally happy with my food. I'm satiated. Do I look forward to it? You bet. I'm not one of those, I'm not hungry anymore since I've started keto. That's not the case at all. I'm always ready for good old keto OMAD. And it suits me just fine. You see what I eat. And then I have 3 cups of coffee because, like last night, my first cup of coffee is at 11:15 at night as I get ready to go to my shift overnight. And then my next cup of coffee is between 8 and 9 a.m. And then my next cup of coffee is around 11 a.m. And then I have my OMAD. When Greg isn't here, I have it at 2. And when he is here, I have it between 2:30 and 3:30. And I love it. It just works for me. And, you know, I guess maybe it was funny because when Frank was talking about not wanting to be called a carnivore, you know, maybe I don't want to be, you know, strictly keto. Maybe I'm like carnivish, mostly carnivore, but then I have, you know, 80 grams of lettuce, which is nothing in the scheme of things, even though it sounds like a high number. But, you know, then I'm having 8 to 10 ounces of usually beef with it. So it's just interesting. I guess I'm keto for lack of a better word, but I do a very heavy meat OMAD. And so I don't know. It's figuring out what works for you. You know, a friend was saying that heavy whipping cream in her coffee causes gastrointestinal distress. And so she switched. She got some and fourth and heart ghee, and she absolutely loves it. And there goes the heavy whipping cream, no gastro distress, and she found a solution. And she said, another tweak to her carnivore food plan. And it's like, yeah, I'm the same way. It just works for me with that. So what the heck are you eating today, Sarah? Sarah P. Pearl. Well, what I'm having today, these are my macros. I am having 1,139 calories. My protein is 51 grams. My carbs are 8.8 total, and my fats are 96.7. And I love what I'm having today. It's one of those fun days. I'm having that burger soup, and I was calling it cheeseburger, but it has cream cheese in it, cream cheese with the beef, and beef broth, and a can of fire-roasted diced tomatoes. That's it. It's delicious. The flavor of the broth is just to die for. And so I'm having a serving of that. I'm having 2 Pete and Jerry jumbo eggs, gently fried. And with them, I'm having 50 grams of hot ham. It's left over from putting on the pizza. So I'm having that with my 2 fried eggs sitting on top of that, my cheeseburger soup, and then I'm having a Trader Joe's organic radicchio and butter lettuce salad. And underneath that is 50 grams of English cucumber, 20 grams of celery, and 25 grams of red cabbage, with 20 grams of macadamia nut oil and 5 grams of fourth and heart ghee melted into the macadamia nut oil for the dressing. And that will be happening at 2, which is 5 hours away. And so the house is being painted in the interior. Actually, it's more like fixing cracks and chips off the trim and the windowsills where Frankie, the youngest cat, found it to be a perfect thing to just like scratch until hunks of paint came off. So thank you, Frankie. So yeah, we're having that done right now, and that works. And so I love my food plan. I love my tweaking. And the whole message that I want to send to all of you here is follow what works for you. Do what works for you. Find it, hold on to it. You don't have to even defend it to anybody. It works for you. Even to the point of, like, if you like artificial sweeteners or alternative sugars, if you like diet sodas, even if you like the green Jell-O that Dr. Westman recommends or approves for his keto food plan. If you like those things, have them. Whatever works for you. Just like what Mike said in his 5 keto myths. You could, and it was at the very end of his excellent video, if you get to a place where suddenly you want to address anything that's like fringe keto, not a leafy green piece of lettuce or 4 ounces of, organic beef, anything like that. That fringe stuff, the stuff that's like kind of like, is it a crutch? Is it an aid? Whatever it is, and then you might be ready to address it. For me, it's my Zyla, the alternative sugar. I still have it. I gave it up, and I was tweaking my coffee, and I was tweaking my coffee. I still was having fats in it and the heavy whipping cream, and then no sweetener. And then I went, I don't want those fats, but I miss the sweetener. And it's like, you know what? It is what it is. Just like certain people have to have a diet Dr. Pepper. It is what it is. And I'm no angel, or I should say, what I eat, you see. But I still have that Zyla. That's a crutch. I gave up the gum. I just watched an excellent Down Under video where he was talking about artificial sweeteners, alternative sweeteners, and where they put these things. Some go in gum, some go in liquids, some go in cough medicine, which he didn't mention, but I knew it from doing um, a sweetener video myself. And some break down when they're heated, so they're not so cool. Other things are good for baking. And he went over the gamut of them with the blood sugar spikes, with the will it, could it cause harm? All those sort of things. And it is what it is, It's just like having regular beef instead of having, grass fed, grass finished, and all the fancy stuff that costs a little bit more money. And in an interview, it's funny because I have my interview, my girlie and the cowboy, coming up, and our two assignments I've been watching, so I know from where I talk, I speak. And one of the people being interviewed, he was asked, is it better to have grass-fed, grass-finished, or what is the deal with feedlot? And he said, at this point, if you just have the good diet, the good meats, they might not be grass-fed, organic, grass-finished. Just have the meat. It's still going to calm down your inflammation. The point that I'm learning now from watching a lot of carnivore people is that even with beef, some of those wonderful B vitamins can be lost as the beef cooks. So that's why a lot of carnivore people like the raw, or as Frank called it, black and blue. I remember Cook at Pittsburgh, and that's black and blue, where it's burnt on the outside or cooked real fast on the inside, and just about blue and cold, red and cold on the inside. So a lot of carnivore people want to retain as many of the bioavailable nutrients in their beef, and so they lightly cook or don't cook. And some people get used to that. And so we just mosey along down the wonderful roads that we're on. We don't have to defend why we're doing what we're doing. We'll get around to it if we get around to it, and if we don't, we don't. There's no sense in beating up somebody because they have something in their food plan that you don't think is healthy for them or matches them. I was talking to Greg's sister-in-law when she was here, and she is trying to out-exercise her 30-pound gain of weight. And I told her, I said, it's 90% food and 10% exercise. So whatever it is that you're doing, the food is more important, especially when you're of a certain age. And she's of a certain age. I'm still, double digits ahead of her in age. But yeah, so that's how it is. But do what works for you. If you feel better, if you've got non-scale victories, if you've got some scale victories, whatever it is that works for you, keep doing it. If it's not working for you, if you're not satisfied, if you're not satiated, then by all means tweak what you're having. When you listen to other people's videos and you see that they've changed up something, maybe that'll work for you. But, with me, with my coaching, as well as here, I deal with people's habits. Are you still nighttime eating? Do you still find it necessary to snack? Are you having those fringe items and feel that maybe you should go without them? Is there a place where it's just, you just dive into somebody else's starchy, carby thing because you can't stand it one more minute, and then you think you'll track it, and then it's in your head, and then, that mess, that rabbit hole. And so I deal with people's habits a lot. Are you planning? Are you prepping? Are you weighing? Are you tracking? You don't have to do those things, but if you do because it made you successful before, are you able to get back to them? Sometimes retreads, meaning people that have been here, done that, stopped doing it, gained, and now want back in for the loss. They find it hard to do the old habits, the old good habits they formed their first time round here in keto or carnivore. And so, just pay attention for a second. It's only for one day. Just plan for your one day today. Unless you're making something like a roast, like me, where you get a good 2 days, 2.5 days out of it. And so, that's all I'm saying here today is that find your groove, your N equals 1. Did you want to go from 3 meals a day to 2 meals a day to 1 meal a day? Well, do it. If you wanted to give up your bulletproof coffee and get, you still have things in it, but not to the degree that you had it before, where it's like an ice cream sundae with fats in it. What works for you? And if you do change up something, like say you wanted to go to 2 meals a day from 3 or 1 meal a day from 2, maybe just trying it a couple of times a week. That's all. Just, test the waters. That's how I got to OMAD. I was having 2MAD, and it was like, okay, I'm going to try this OMAD, and I'll have it a couple of times a week, and we'll see how it goes. I went to OMAD and never went back. And that was over a year ago. And I was the least likely candidate on my short list of people that could do it, would do it, and have success. Now I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. So you never ever know, honey. Cupcakes, sweeties, pickles, turtles, and snowflakes, and no matter what club people, you never know, okay? So take care of yourself. N equals 1, a day at a time. Slow it down. Weight loss should be the last thing on your list. You want to be satiated. You want to be content. You don't want to have sugar cravings. You don't want to have a lot of the side things that could be fixed with a nice, structured keto food plan. Okay? In my world, my wheelhouse, no fruits, no seed oils, no grains, no sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no soda. But it's the no seed oils, the no grains, and the no sugars, and the no fruits. And if you do those things, you're keto. You've fallen into keto. Pat yourself on the back. Thank you so much for watching. And if you need one-on-one keto coaching, which for me, it's like the bad habits type of bad habits of foods, you can find me at ketocoachingsarah.com. If you'd like to make a donation, contribution to keep this channel and me going so I can continue to do videos. Notice I didn't say quality. So I can do videos on a daily basis. And also, I have some mugs for sale. So there you go. There's the whole Megillah. So I will see you the next time here. Thank you so much for watching. I couldn't do it without you. I don't plan on doing it without you. So please comment below, and I will see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.